One thing is getting recommended right now. You can see the Autism is Bullshit video getting recommended. I don't think it's getting any views, but right now there's something going on with Jacksepticeye. The video is not exactly getting viral and across the internet. Not many people actually care, but I would say like outsiders would care about this, right? To see, oh, are you doing okay, Jacksepticeye? You're playing way too many horror games. Something should have cracked at some point. In fact, I seen the same thing happen with Markiplier. Markiplier on TikTok declared that he had heart attacks. And I will actually take that as a glitch. Marky glitch. I will explain why very soon. You see, unfortunately, I have anti-Markiplier drama confirmed. I'm not exactly a good guy, but I will try to be a good guy, even though I don't like these people. Alright? They're getting what they deserved, basically. And I call it Deadmaus Drama. You know, the mouse is running around and dying, apparently, so might as well just finish it off. Jesus. It's like, you're getting what you deserve. You're not supposed to, like, stoke in so much negativity. So let's see what the consequences of that is. It's very interesting to see, actually. It was the worst year of my life. There was a lot of noise in my life. And I definitely don't want to be the bad guy because... But I will still be able to see through the deception, right? Oh, you just have autism? Is that what's going on? Who knows what the narrative actually is? But surely we're going to find this an interesting journey. It will take 30 minutes to watch. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Bit more get them, and that's partly why I'm here, is to try and promote that and sell more tickets and get more people in.
Apparently you just spawned, right?
Raise more awareness for it so we can raise more money for charity.
And charities for
but
losers.
Also, I want position.
When you are a charitable person, guess what you can do? You can start making friends. It's unbelievable, I know. You can ask people to tell their life stories for a quick buck. Just because you're interested, you know. That's the most charitable thing you can do, because a story can unlock another story that you can also give charity to unlock even more, and just starting to like untangle the web of just like the world as a whole. This is what I would recommend doing instead of just like throwing money at a computer, because computer is not there to suck in money. It's there as a tool to make money. How about that? Your world around you should suck in money as a regular friend. So far, fuck you, basically.
Positions of success, and they think that oh, they must have it all, or they've.
No, I don't think people who play horror games for a living are successful. I think it's a brain damage well spent, I would say.
Achieve success not only.
Now, I'm not coming here as a Jacksepticeye fan, because that would be impossible. I would never be a fan of someone, but here's a interesting opportunity for me to actually check his video, because he's not gonna do jump scares. That's just so useful to me when the videos don't have jump scares and doesn't intentionally try to scare you.
Really, in the comment, vent all you want, like other YouTubers.
Feel free to vent on you all you want, because nothing's gonna happen as a consequence.
And other people options where I think talking about mental health can have huge knock-on effects.
There is a problem, like, we don't really relate to YouTubers because they're just very different people.
Positively for people. And I try and live my life that way as well. I've been going to therapy now for the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's a rich people thing, to go to therapy. And be submissive. And I don't want to go into the same cycle again and talk about how therapy is just a degenerate scientific way to give you something that would be harmful to you. But let's just say you still need to keep looking for friends. If you're willing to spend money on just random people listening to your story, might as well make it extremely random and not a very, very specific specialist who could just turn evil anytime they want. Who can just mess with you just because they treat you as a toy, not as something, as a client. Fuck that shit. As a toy, as a bank account that can be leached off. At the same time, it's very difficult to trust anyone who is trying to help you because they want you to suffer more than they want to help you, actually. So,
I talk.
like, the real question I would say to myself is, like, would I ever go to therapy? And I genuinely don't understand what that is. Like, my brain cannot comprehend what therapy is. I go to some random person's place to fish for advice or something. I understand what life coaching is, and life coaching does not actually exist in the world. Like, no one's gonna come to you and tell you, like, you can do this better, this that better. Actually, deliver you an advice. No, you have to fucking lay down in their place, spill your beans. I mean, it's already so much effort to become vulnerable, extra vulnerable. And if they treat you improperly, it's like medication. It's just gonna make things worse. I am yet to actually battle a therapist because that's definitely gonna happen in my life. I'm just gonna battle them like a fucking Pokemon battle. Because I just feel that they would think that they're better than me, even when I criticize them or whatever. Because I don't quite have a specific data. So the only way to actually get specific data from therapies is to, battle them. But obviously the name itself just says it all. The English doesn't lie. You come to someone, you give them an incredible amount of consent and vulnerability, and they're a stranger, but they're specialized in that field. And I don't know, man. There's layers of just actual horror, I would say.
A lot of the struggles that I'm getting my.
Another thing about this situation where therapy is mentioned is you just have to be more honest. And I don't see YouTubers being honest, and that's just the problem. The moment you become honest, so you feel like therapy is going to help you because you're going to go into like a concealed place with the person that you might be able to trust, and you just like unleash everything, but it's still in confined place where nobody actually hears your story and all that shit. This is as close to therapy as you can actually get. This is just to tell people what's up, right? And even that is just 30-minute adventure. It's not actually anything at all. It's just an update that you are burnt out and you don't like you being a YouTuber very much. That sort of thing leaks out basically eventually. It's basically too late to be respected by anyone, I would say. The worst time of my life where I have to consider not making YouTube videos. Shitty YouTube videos, bro.
Like 20.
It is weird that I had to like sort of side with him when he was attacking Mr. Beast, but at the same time, I never really sided with a person whose content I can't possibly watch. So, and right now, I don't want to be a predator. Don't get me wrong. I want the mouse to start running around. All right, because that's the drama that we're gonna have for 2025, and these people just kind of play into that as if I ordered it to my door. I'm just a little bit, fucking flabbergasted at this point that it just arrived. My heart just told me what's happening, but it still blows my mind anytime a glitch happens in the system that these people are just gonna run around and somehow die. So some definition of death is gonna happen. Maybe their life is gonna turn into a horror film, and we're gonna just be able to see it for what it is, right? Maybe someone flipped the pancake and turned their dream into reality, or nightmare into reality, or just whatever they have been doing on a computer into reality. That's always a fun thing to do.
2014 to 2016, I think that was where I was going, and I struggled a lot with my identity. I realized that I was doing YouTube so vigorously.
Identity is now a dirty word.
For so long.
All right, he already mentioned burnt out,
and taking breaks. Oh man,
yeah, you're gonna get burnt out when you're not passionate about your craft, and that's it. You can't really cut the treadmill, you can only slow it down. right? And seek your passions more thoroughly, I would say.
Realize that I don't even know what this.
You know, I appreciate it no matter how this story plays out, even if I become a bad guy, they can take it, you know? They can at least take it. And maybe it actually heals them. Maybe Markiplier will stop having heart attacks and end up in a hospital every now and then. What the fuck is going on? And maybe this guy,
This community.
God knows what. Maybe he will get undiagnosed from autism. How about that? Because I will diagnose it as bullshit.
He's ever been about. There was a lot of sort of.
Yeah, by the way, this was Kickstarter by please donate to this cause or whatever. That's what kickstarted this whole conversation. And that's why it's not genuine whatsoever. Because this is what YouTubers do. They get inspiration, they get a kick in the fucking butt to be able to actually do genuine therapy of being honest with the people that they're hanging out with. You know, with the clients or whatever. We're technically this guy's clients and this guy's boss at the same time. So he should just be open, you know. The clients will not watch this video anyways. They will go to another gameplay video, whatever the fuck this guy is serving, while the bosses are going to be like, okay, let's see here. What is the problem? Maybe we can fix it, you know, or we can at least acknowledge it if there's a problem.
Sort of I wanted when I was younger, or like I'm a person who really likes connecting with other people, but I don't have much opportunity to do that in the position that I'm in.
It's very weird, right? It's very sticky surface. This loneliness aura, basically. It could be contagious. I mean, other celebrities could fucking get a sniff of that. I think it's a little bit exclusive. He's also European. Let's not forget that. That sucks. That's going to make you lonely and depressed.
Like here where I live, I don't have most of the time, because if you're depressed and you've
ding, 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 ding. We got him, bro. He said the word right after.
Your brain is next week, because I'm pretty sure I'm also autistic.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're sure of something, it hits you very hard. So when I was talking about autism, I'm like, you know what? The conclusion is everyone else is autistic. It's just the other way around, right? It's a lot easier to single out people than like label everyone else. Because I label everyone else as like NPCs. But also they're just vicious. They're not friendly. And I think that's autistic, to be antisocial and not friendly at all. And this is what it is. Now, when he's going to talk about autism, I'm very interested in what's going on, because I don't think he's the problem. Usually people who are labeled as autistic, they're surrounded by a bunch of like antisocial nonsense going on.
Some wounds that I didn't know were there, and I've picked out some scabs emotionally to try and like get to the depths of why I feel certain things and why I.
You know what's interesting about this sort of stuff is like people getting diagnosed for autism. Like they probably actually put in more work than an average person to try and understand themselves better. But they also, I would imagine, they give themselves a little bit of freedom to unleash their egos, and they get criticized for doing that, or feel uncomfortable doing that, or feel like there's something wrong with them at the same time while they do it. It's just like masturbation. Let's put it that way, right? Like it's a gross thing that you don't want to be caught doing, but you still want to do anyways, right? That's your ego, basically. So it's very easy to get labeled as autistic, but the fact is that it actually makes you more normal than other people. Other people are actually trying to like chill their emotions to the point where they never get caught of doing anything. They're just not doing anything wrong whatsoever, pretends to. But at the same time, they're just not friendly and not fun to hang around whatsoever either. And sometimes, if you do approach them, very likely, or you do reply to them, they're just gonna keep on defending their point of view that they don't like you or some bullshit like that. Which is absolutely not productive in any way. Like, this is a destructive behavior, and it's like entropy. Like, 90% of people cause entropy in the world, and what's gonna have to happen? They will have to freeze until we can rebuild the world. You know, it's almost like the entire world might just freeze for a while until we can, like, build something nice for ourselves. And then everything will start melting again. It's like building a Disney castle, but the Disney castle has a expiration date because of all the NPCs running around and melting the damn castle to the ground, to a fucking puddle. This is how I see a vision of the world like this. Like, it's kind of crazy to me. And it makes me close, puts me closer to these, like, influencer types. So also would probably want a very similar thing of just, like, build the world back up again, so we can at least have a little bit of fresh air, while at the same time connecting to the people who actually want to, you know, spread happiness, and who feel lonely in a world of NPCs running around and just fucking eating cake all the time, because that's what they're doing. They're just having fun and have absolutely no purpose in life. It's kind of fucking weird. Maybe I would call it like a self-punishment. Because you don't actually seek a purpose in life, the only thing you're gonna do is run around and eat cake. Just find things that make you happy, aimlessly, right? You're not gonna seek connections or just things people have. You want to have those things. You want to hold power over people. It's just like for a certain amount of time. That's what people do. Just run around and bump into me and just like, oh, I am more powerful. I'm smarter than you. Blah, blah, blah. You're the problem. They just come up to me and they waste their self-esteem on me, basically. For no reason. Because they don't have a purpose. My purpose is just to defend myself. Whatever I'm doing, I want to have maximum potential unleashed because I'm teaching other people. I don't want to feel like a loser when I say certain things. I want to be able to deliver a message because I have pretty good confidence on things that I say. So, already eye-opening situation that Jacksepticeye put me into. Very interesting. Very high respect.
I am the way I won't be able to do anything for the rest of the day. I left therapy 2 weeks ago.
You know what? Even more respect. He left therapy. That's the shit that he has to do. Now his life is actually normal. In fact, now he actually pulled the context back into his own hands, despite being a charitable cause. Now he pulled out of the therapy, and now he turned his YouTube channel into therapy a little bit, and that changes everything. All right. I see even more respectable behavior now. So I'm kind of put into a very uncomfortable position, man. Am I gonna, kill with kindness? Is that what's going on? Am I gonna have to do Selena Gomez move, the killer move?
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
I was talking about a project which, again, is also difficult for me because sometimes I can't talk about the things publicly.
Well, you should be able to. All right, we have defined 90% of people as NPCs. Yes. They're gonna be mad. That's not cake for you. You shouldn't be fucking mad. Just go somewhere else. You took poison pill by accident. No one told me that I am from the Matrix and you're taking red pills. Any fucking sentence you hear from my mouth. I mean, if nobody told you that, oh shit, I should put a warning signs of like red pills incoming. Oh no, look at that. There's no warnings. I've tried to Google a warning sign, guys. Shit, that's crazy.
Something that I don't want it to, and it's very difficult for me to not be able to like be honest and not be truthful and not kind of like speak my mind when I'm kind of like I have to put the safety on or I have to.
Oh yeah, this is a problem, but it's a problem that I can't comprehend because. Maybe I'm just arrogant, but at this point, like, for fuck's sake, it's definitely not serving anyone to put on all the shields and just wait for those shields to get eaten away And then you're just like, well, I guess I will try and talk about this to the internet. People will not like these videos, well, whatever. Again, a therapy is a very terrifying situation because you're going to be honest to a person that you don't really care about, and they don't really care about you. You don't have an actual bond with those people, and you're just honest with that person. Even in a courtroom, you're better off not opening too much about the situation you're in. You're just better off not talking about nothing. Just soaking it in until you genuinely, honestly, based on the context, have something original to say that you wouldn't say to anyone else. Go right ahead. But to put yourself in a position where you think you're being honest, but you're in a strange location with a strange person. No, nobody close to you. Now, if you recognize that you have no real friends to talk to, and you're sort of isolated, now it's a panic mode, right? Now you have to scramble for research. Now you have to throw a net. And that often means you have to turn your fucking face to the camera and say that your situation is pretty dire and you're like looking for friendships and bonds to make because you just realize therapy is just kind of a weird way to waste money. Maybe it will give you like more self-awareness, but will not actually create good friendships whatsoever because that's the only thing that will keep you safe, right? Is knowing that people actually care about you. Just getting that confirmation out. You can't force that connection, basically, is what I'm saying.
A bit better. What other people are thinking, overanalyzing other people, overanalyzing myself.
Yeah, attempting to be liked is very vicious cycle.
Thinking of everything in my environment, all around me, all the time.
No, except my video. My video is not going to get picked up.
Again, another reason
that
why I'm going to
sucks.
check it out. I am.
Although I did attracted a dude with, what, 5.8 million subscribers? That was something.
Now, compared to what I would say. Not everybody.
The funny thing is, ego is actually often more honest than a normal self. There's a normal self and ego self. In fact, there's three. There's the demon self that's waiting for you to fall asleep so it can drag you into just uncomfortable situations. There's the normal self and there's the ego self. All right? And I can do whatever I want with that. But let's just say that. Let's just say that. Ego self. So, the ego self is somewhat potentially more honest in that sense than a normal self. I would imagine. Because normal self is like, honesty is ingrained in the normal self, and you kind of expect that person to just talk itself out if it's having trouble, and eventually, again, the face will seek for a camera for guidance or whatever. Because internet is quite good at guiding to a wrong place. I don't know. But this is the question mark that I want to like question myself right now. Is ego better? Because ego is you talk about the things you want to have, right? Or the imaginary friends that you're creating for yourself. Like that would be a very honest way to manifest reality just for a little while so we can actually peek into whatever he wants to actually happen. Whatever you think is the perfect version of your world, if he starts acting that out, we would actually be able to see the full honest view of that. Because otherwise, you're just talking about yourself and your struggles, and it's sort of like semi-boring and not actually engaging. This is the thing that like connects people, is the ego. The power of ego, bro. The idea of ego is your higher self that constantly just like wants to be a Spider-Man, Iron Man, have superpowers of any kind, talk to any person in the world, and just control the world for you. So just bend the reality. The ego self always wants to come out. And that's what would make you like autistic, I would imagine. It's the fact that you have ego, that you have not suppressed entirely. And people notice that, and they want to give you a label of some kind, just so you have something. It's always about having with these illnesses, mental illness things. So always about having, and sometimes, and often enough, having it means something positive, that you actually own something. So when people put a label on that, maybe it's a good thing, right? Now, because I saw autism as like a negative thing, I'm like, you guys have it. I'm not the problem. You guys have autism. If that's something like that disrupts people's connection between them, because I look at NPCs and it's just like the connection constantly cuts off. Like they just run away. And it just seems so weird to me for them to just bounce around like little balls without a purpose. It's just kind of weird to me. Because you at least seek purpose within of like, okay, you connect, it's just like question how far you can go with this relationship, all that shit. I would want to actually bump into a person like that. But the free-floating particles don't have ego whatsoever. They don't have the sticky surface and a wish to do anything in life. Apparently, it's just they just want a free flow. So that's what makes people different. To be able to awaken your ego and suppress your demon as well. Suppress demons. That's what's going to make you a better person. That's what's going to make you different, right? So we always like see the portrayal of just the horned, devilish little self, and then the angel self floating around on your shoulders. We see these portrayals, but that's actually like quite real thing when we consider that these things have a great purpose in our lives, like the guidance of good and evil, the unleashing your ego and having high self-esteem when it's appropriate. Like that's just something you should naturally be able to understand very quickly, at least. So let's dive deeper.
It has that. It's very problems, and you have to go to a 9 to 5 all the time. I can't imagine how.
Well, you still surround yourself with people, so it's actually not as impossible. And also, it's not. I mean, you're only gonna get mental health problems if you're getting abused. So in this case, Jacksepticeye, you're being abused by being lonely. That's what it is. It's very difficult to have mental health problems and in the workplace, I would say, unless you're getting abused. And then things get really fucking crazy, because the real most abusive situation is to lose a job. So you can't even just get abused or anything. You literally don't have a job. So it's like you have to push yourself to find another one. And you know that you might be called out as a problem as well. And now you have to deal with loneliness and stress and all these things. And then it can pile up when you are disconnected from something that, earns you money. See, the thing is, yes, most of the things money just solves. Just by you having money, you don't quite have mental illness, unfortunately. You have different mental problems. Narcissism, anarchism, I call it anarchism. If you have money, you don't have problems. Like, anarchism means that you are destructive to your environment, you're breaking a lot of rules, you don't care about other people. Anarchism. But secret, you don't not gonna fucking come up to them and you just don't care. You're just like, fuck these people, fuck those people. Just don't care. You don't want to talk to nobody. Then there is sociopathy and psychopathy. Sociopathy, you can imagine, is like buying a bunch of pennies and just throwing them at people and just like, oh, fucking peasants. And psychopathy is showing that you're willing to give something, but then you change your mind and say, I don't give a fuck. What are you gonna do about it? You know, that sort of thing. You just basically tease lord, edge lord. So when you have money, if you make enough mistakes, you are just a broken human being. Because money is now a fundamental basis of good mental health. This is what you should actually focus on. If you want good mental health, you just need money. Because this is where we base everything upon. It's going to change very soon. The money's not going to be the thing. So it's almost like outdated information right now. The validation is going to be what you need in life. Validation, meaning that you have to put yourself out there first of all. And, well, fingers crossed, you're going to get validated. It's kind of like going to college, basically. You have been accepted to a certain college. You have a certain value to offer. And they accept you. You know, you get validated. Congratulations. You can go one step forward to your dream destination, right? But previously, it was all about money. It's all just having money. And technically surviving. It allows you to survive. But now you need like a mental validation in order to be able to survive. When I say now, it will happen after 4 years. Right now, people's wallets are getting drained more and more. I'm surprised people are not complaining about inflation, because inflation happened and it's not going to go down. You know, the price is not going to come back down. Inflation happened. It's interesting when it just happened in a very specific period where the fear has been spreading across the world of like, yes, your wallet is not safe. It's scary. It was scary for me to just be in the UK. And unfortunately, Jacksepticeye has played a little bit of a role of adding a little bit of fear into my life, which is making him, again, kind of fucking sus for the narrative that I'm about to do with the Deadmaus Drama. I might get a little bit upset, because this might just be the only, like, last message of the last existence of real Jacksepticeye, and everything else is just fucking turd-septiceye, I would say. I don't think this person is ever going to come back. You know, he wants to be likable, and he's going to send that message to everyone, but his demon self is just out of control, I would imagine. This is why he actually caused a lot of fear within me. It's like, it feels like his demon self is always active, and this is just a plea to please like me, basically, that sort of situation. So let's see what the actual story is, but this is my, you know, gut feeling.
How difficult that is. I really had a 9-to-5 job. I got very lucky.
There's two types of things going on, and these things always get to the same kind of like twisted battle with themselves, because they sort of walk the similar path. Nobody wants to be with demons, and nobody wants to get in the way of good people, right? And they sort of just start walking alone, and they just look into each other, and it's like, hey, there's demons over there. We should attack, you know? And that's the Deadmaus Drama, my friends. It's gonna happen very soon. The demon's gonna clash with the fucking, you know, high-tier individuals. And the only question I have for Jack's Films, fucking Jack's Films, yeah. Jack's Films is fine. But Jacksepticeye, are you a demon? And do we have to hurt you right now? That's my only question.
Everybody has, some people are better at hiding.
Everyone has mental health struggles. It's just people have to hide it. Very good at hiding it.
them. Some people don't have them.
It feels like he's going off the cliff and trying to grab for excuses. In order to not have mental health issues, You just have to be honest, openly, as much as possible. Write a book. But you still have to be honest. Like, that's the easiest escape of all time. And to not be able to find it means that you suppressed a very important part of your brain. Of just loosening up and being honest about the problems that you have, because it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. Like, I got, into a face-off with a person who was making a lot of noise this year. It was a noisy year, and I just faced it off, and I'm just like, yeah, I respect that, right? We respect each other. It's fine. I was able to say some thoughts, and now it's over. The fight is over. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm not gonna say I'm a winner. Nah. It's just, we understand that we might not want to clash over this. It's life is important, and calmness is important, and whatever happened is also important. So, great. I hope problem solved. This is what happens when you're just honest, but you also will have to suffer through it, Honesty is not, it's not a simple thing. It sort of has to accumulate as well. You can't just jump into court and everyone's guilty. The guilt has to accumulate on other people's heads, because the first thing is you're guilty for not taking advantage of other people who are just making a mess. It's like a store is getting robbed, and you sort of should feel guilty that you didn't pick up candy bar for yourself to make yourself happier. Everyone is stealing everything. It's just like, fuck it, I'll take a candy bar in case you can't have one for some reason. But it's just an example of just help yourself when there's chaos, and the moment you get in trouble, start accumulating guilt on other people. The moment you're getting in trouble, you'll be able, as a sensitive person, to tell faster. And as a very incredibly sensitive person, let's see how fast he goes off a cliff.
And they just push through life. But I feel like,
yeah, baby.
At least for me, I have a hard time doing it, and I'm trying my best.
Yeah, you're not changing your addiction to horror games, so you're really not trying whatsoever. It's just like, oh, that's my job now.
to not have that.
Your job is not in the entertainment sector, unfortunately, because there's a lot of competition going on, so I really have to apologize. You're fired.
Be a thing, but I wanted to say this
so difficult,
kind of stuff to relate to other people a bit more.
See, the thing is, he can probably talk like a normal human being to some extent until context appears, and he has to talk about context, and then he's really falling off a cliff. And then
specific to being a YouTuber, maybe there are some people who.
Well, it depends which type of YouTuber at this point.
Find yourself wading into negativity without realizing you're in it. So I just wanted to.
Oh yeah, you realize that you're in negativity. I am very far away from, but it's just financial stability. That's what it does. For me, I am financially stable, and this is the most healthiest you will ever be. There is, a health bar that based on the money. If you have maximum financial stability, you're going to be the happiest person you could ever be, or at least mentally healthy. But that definitely will give you a lot of happiness too, just because you're ahead of everyone else. Most importantly, just reaching that financial stability and actually pinning it down, because it's about earning money and spending money. Two things to consider very heavily.
Do this video. You're allowed to go through.
It's fine.
Struggles. It's okay to take breaks and.
Yeah, I went through that too. Until I found my financial stability with magic, by the way. Everything is magic to me, so I don't quite like it. It still kind of grinds my gears, but at the same time, I wasn't born in a fortunate family, so I'll take any fortune I can get at the same time. Like,
time for yourself. Shocked to know how many people are going through the exact same situation.
Yeah, I would be shocked because you shouldn't be talking about something like that, but yeah, that was the intention of the start of the video, which, yeah, basically collapsed again. Basically caving him in because I was trying to respect the fact that he stopped the therapy thing.
Public.
But like, if he knows a lot of cases of just mental health problems, he seems to be in a position to be able to do something about it, right? And the only thing YouTubers come up with is just like donate, which yeah.
And I guess it's a good maybe.
Okay, this is very interesting.
People in my family point guns at each other and say that they're going to kill someone and then take their own life is something that I thought was so specific to me, and talking about it at therapy and kind of like opening up a bit more about these kinds of things, you realize that, no, it may be a bit more unique.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Fucking Jacksepticeye origin story at this point, no? Just pointing guns. Holy crap. Now, yes, I do have shitty, weird family members that, luckily, are not always fighting each other, but it is very weird to hear that, absolutely. And I think it very much helps to just disassociate with people like that. If anyone pointed a gun at each other in a fucking Mexican standoff, at this point, these people are dead because they really have such evil intentions and something has stopped them. And usually it's always a third person stopping them, just some kind of higher purpose of just not being looked at as fucking, suicidal fucking maniacs. But yeah, that seems just like it's just self-defining situation. That's fine. As long as people don't put a gun to your head to expect you to do certain things, and then things get very weird. The internet extortion. Imagine Jacksepticeye being forced to make YouTube videos just to suck in as much money as possible from your wallet. Donate, my friends, donate is all I have to say, man. So I'm already sensing some sus behavior.
But other people have gone through things in their lives, and
yeah, it kind of sucks, but like, I cannot sympathize with that because people are not honest right now. They're not honest to me. They're not gonna fucking talk about that shit to me. So, yeah. Whoops. Even if they did went through that. Did I went through something traumatic? The most traumatic thing is my dad destroying my laptop. Just because it was too noisy for him. But we were just living in the same room, and it's technically understandable. It's just I literally would have nothing else to do for the day, and my laptop just doesn't want to fucking move around all over the place just to please one person trying to sleep. It felt a little bit of a hard conflict to solve. Because I also would never really consider the keystrokes as something that would actually bother people from sleeping. That was kind of weird too. Maybe it was an excuse for Russia to attack Ukraine because of someone fucking keystroking a keyboard. That's a very interesting way to see it. The gaslight methods works every time, am I right? Just find a reason to hate someone, to attack someone, and just fucking do it. Fuck it, right? Whatever happens. It's like jealousy that I had a fucking laptop in that sense. Just having anything. I'm realizing, like, right now, like, this is quite a traumatic experience simply because I don't think my dad was quite genuine in that sense. Especially when he's fucking himself fucking snoring at night. Almost, pretty much. So that makes hard to sleep. And then fucking talks a bunch with himself. It's just messy.
Not inherently if you feel like there's no one to turn to. Like, mental health is sort of
not necessary. But if you feel that you can actually pull this off, I'm not gonna stop anyone. Just what helps me is a notebook behavior, right? Now, if you actually in a position of loneliness, something happened to you, and now you're in my hands. All right, I'm in loneliness. You can call me a fucking loneliness demon at this point, because I lived in loneliness for so fucking long. And I'm fully aware that the only way out of loneliness is just to accept it, unfortunately. Just accept it. Just be patient. Because if you have people who care about you, they will have to show up on their own terms at that time. Because I don't have quite many, but man, I have a good quality friend, so to speak. So I'm not upset about that at all. I would just like to have a couple more that would be useful, right? Just to, and an ever-expanding circle of friends, that would also be a very good thing, because I don't want to live in entropy, but it's just the way the world works right now. It's entropy. It's things kind of falling apart. That's what we're going through right now.
Sort of the backbone of society and community, and it feels like it's being pulled at the seams right now.
Well, not exactly. But during the apocalypse, a lot of people are tempted to do evil things. And they will definitely stand out quite a bit after everything is accumulated. It's going to be a very interesting conclusion to this whole thing. Because people like that, people like Jacksepticeye, they don't understand that every single move is now being calculated very carefully. And you will definitely stand out if you just turn this into like an anomaly. If this Jacksepticeye will never come back. And I'm telling you guys, not only this was just an attempt for a cash grab for some company and just to see if the Jacksepticeye fucking bends over, you know, and just like, let's see it, bro. Let's see what that other one is, though. Are you trying to relate to autistic people?
Feels like that's undone.
Because technically, again, a smart enough person will never label themselves as anything negative, and it seems autism is a negative term. It's like a crippling mental disorder, let's put it that way.
I'm trying to think that.
And it's a very easy way to like label your demons as a mental illness. But in reality, it's just like you really don't have self-control, and you should not receive any pity.
It waits.
Because again, we're talking about a person who has money in this situation. The situation still counts for 4 more years. Anyone who has money and financial stability do not require pity whatsoever. That's just what we know as a society. I do not require pity either, because I'm going to be financially stable no matter what the fuck you say to me, basically. I will not run out of time and patience and all those things. I'm incredibly fortunate to not have someone collect rent over me as if I'm some kind of fucking slave. But I will make the best out of it, you know. I'm most likely labeled as a very good person. And if Jacksepticeye just triggers the right signals, it's on. We're on something very serious for 2025. Holy crap.
Problems of the world.
He has a Nirvana shirt, by the way. It's interesting.
And I fixed, there's an...
The dangerous territory is most people would actually look at me as the bad guy. But you have to look at me as the aggregate. Yes, when I become evil, for that particular moment to strike back, you gotta become evil. You gotta be a fucking on offense for one time. And you're obligated to do that. You know, just like Pac-Man eating up the fucking ghosts for one time. Right? You're obligated. They're just stuck in your maze, and the Pac-Man eating modes activate at that point. All right? So in the aggregate, again, Jacksepticeye will try to paint himself in a public image as some kind of positive influence, and that's just not exactly true, I don't think.
An early show, coming together and being in the same place as one another and like seeing each other face to face and
okay, maybe he finds friends.
not just dealing with for
There's always a potential for exceptions, right?
This call just that tiny bit better. We've raised $26 million, and I'm hoping that we can push it over 30 for.
Again, let's not forget that if the money goes in the wrong place, and it's 90% of the time it will go to the wrong place, they actually stole mental health from other people. They stole that. They took that away. And I'm just appalled by all the donations scam nation basically going on in the world. It's a very nasty thing, because you only hear that one part of the story of give me money. You don't hear the part of the story of like, here's where you can, claim a certain amount of money that you might deserve, and everything explained in detail of like how much money you deserve if you are in a certain situation. Here's how you claim it. There's only always one side of the story, and that's just impossible to believe at that point that it's not just all scams.
For Thankmas this year, and achievable.
Especially when half of the YouTuber ads are scams, including the BetterHelp thing turned into a scam. It's just like, it just never ends. Everything that your computer demands from you is usually a fucking scam. Only when I hear the other side of the story, because I don't need to claim the money. I just want to know that it's claimable. But at the same time, everyone wants to know that money is claimable somehow. The money that goes in, like it's hard to actually spread it out quite nicely. And I would want to see like what happens with the money and all that shit. But at the same time, it's all just space travel nonsense. The best way to see what happens to the money is just to spend money yourself. You actually do that all the time. You vote with your dollars. If you like someone, give them dollars. It's just that fucking simple, to be honest. So, anyways.
And I can't wait.
This glossy image at the start and at the end of the video, I immediately dismiss as something I don't trust whatsoever.
To do. Talk about it enough, and then it happens, and I'm like, here's me.
Yeah.
About
what I found that I can donate over and over again is just knowledge. So I'm very proud of myself that I actually found a reliable way to give knowledge to people, and most people don't fucking need that. So I don't even know where the donations would actually go if not in people's pockets at this point. Like, how do you even find them victims, basically, to reward for being a victim? It's just
recent thing that happened to me with verbal autism. It had to be the people who need to stim all the time.
Yeah, it's communication problems. That's what's supposed to be. Anything that causes communication problems, basically. But just like we saw, he self-diagnosed, so the doctor was just like, oh yeah, you have autism, actually. Unless it's more detailed, I will just... I already diagnosed him as well, basically.
People who need repetitive... That's not...
Yeah. Autism spectrum is about problem socializing. That's what it is. That's what he's trying to describe. Problem socializing, and you can ramp it up in all kinds of different ways. To have autism, it has to be severe enough. You know, you cannot just be on the spectrum because everyone's on the spectrum. You have to pass a certain threshold. And I say halfway point, basically. A point of no return, right? Where return is very difficult. Where you have to... There's no return for lazy people, basically. You have to actively work on yourself to be able to actually fix your stupid autism at that point. All right? That's the way I see it. It's the logical way to see everything. It's just...
not the entire picture anymore. And for a Venn diagram, or like they're part of the same spectrum. Or
ADHD and part of the same spectrum?
Everyone a visual...
let me explain, all right? Autism is a general spectrum. ADHD is something that would actually push you deeper into autism. Let's put it that way, right? Because ADHD is by definition is like antisocial behavior, just like you swing in attention sort of away from people. You feel uncomfortable and you show your discomfort very loud and proud in a way. and you like focus on distractions more. Like I had like a call to a person, and they just kind of like put on a layer upon layer of just a few distractions. It's kind of felt like kind of weird, man. Like they're not paying attention. It's just annoying, right, on purpose almost.
They're basically the same thing. And I like love video games. They're cool. I love Sonic the Hedgehog and trains.
He is a demon. No normal human being likes trains. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Except for one specific human being that I respect, but no. Stop liking the trains are weird, bro, and loud.
People with ADHD can have autism as well, that they overlap with each other quite a lot. And then I was like, reading down the list, I was like, if you have autism, you likely have ADHD, you likely have depression and anxiety, you likely have intestinal issues, you likely have hypermobility and joint issues, and you likely poorly to it.
If you have autism, that means if you're deeply on the spectrum, you have to stack a lot of problems to get there. That's what it is. That's what he's describing.
Some people, for me, it makes me go easier on myself having these diagnoses.
Oh, I bet it does help you go easier. Because you thought you had demons, but no, it's just autism. Huh. Not so easy, bro. Not so easy.
It makes me go easier.
No, not easy on yourself. You're a content creator, and you're actually not allowed to have autism. Otherwise, I will delete your channel. So, please get out of the spectrum. Fuck that shit, okay? Just be all the way here. Thank you very much. That's what makes you demonic, basically. Just to kind of accept, like, whatever, like, is what it is. I'll just embrace my depression and whatnot.
Easier on myself,
Now, I could be a very fortunate person that's like, after a little bit of internet digging around and having a few fights, I just know that I'm superior than everyone else. Unfortunately, like, I win every single argument. Obviously, I'm not going to give in, but, like, I see people do such stupid things that turn into NPCs who just yab the same thing over and over again. And I don't want to do that, but I do want to counter their behavior at the same time, so I do end up calling them NPCs at the very least. Because I simply just see the same thing, and in reality, the same thing should not occur at all. Everyone is a very unique person. So when you see just too many patterns, it's easy to detect evil. Which is why the world actually constantly tries to rotate. You know, the world itself, the trends, they try to rotate. So the world becomes sort of unpredictable. However, when you poke your head out, it's very likely that your moves are going to be very predictable to some extent.
I get it.
Again, I would say it's immediately suspicious that, like, someone financially stable, having some kind of problems. So the actual question mark, what is the source of the problems that he's having? And again, he's going to try and mask it. You know, it's just like, oh, I have this and that and this for those. And now it makes more sense, right? He just got a scapegoat basically from his doctor and just fucking picked it up instantly. It's like, yep, that's it. And I will brag to the fucking internet about it right now.
Like I said, it isn't for me or anything like that, but I think it's a good conversation to have because
because you really want to brag about it.
Talked about the amount of people that came out in support of that, but also...
Oh, that's so cute. People are going to support you and like you again. Oh, that's so easy. Life is so easy now.
Like presented.
You get tested for it. Very interesting. It's a very rigorous process, it seems.
That way. Like looking at me, you wouldn't think that I was autistic for a lot of people.
Yeah, because now let's fucking warp reality and make people scared that they might be autistic or some bullshit like that. This is where things get into manipulation territory, I would dare to say.
So I'm trying to, you know what? I'm trying to fucking change this industry.
Here we go. Here we go, bro. Here comes the fucking demon siege.
With an evolutionary mindset that I want to change this fucking industry from people who are obsessed with ambition and legacy. Legacy is just another fucking word for...
What the fuck is he talking about?
Ambition and legacy. Legacy is just another fucking word for ego. And
Oh, you don't say ego.
Like,
You don't say ego next to narcissism unless something is fucking wrong with you. Holy shit. So why do I have a positive view of ego? Because ego is a very short word. Close to egg. You know, ego, you know. It's trying to be basically as innocent as possible. You can sense within the word. So anyone who seems like, oh, ego is about greed, you know, but yeah, we have greed. It's just the way you unleash the greed. Everyone has greed. It's just you don't unleash it. You don't ask for money relentlessly. And there's a lot of people can't even unleash their egos. The ego just dies because they don't get enough tools. They don't have enough response from people. And it's just like, that's how loneliness kills. But the reason why this dude actually knows about ego and sees it as a negative thing is because he's using it against you, basically.
you're trying to build for yourself that.
It's crazy, right? It's just, he just threw that out there. While I'm actually trying to educate people of like, ego is a good thing, this guy, he just slapped me.
You want people to remember you after
Crazy.
you're dead?
One thing is very interesting. Anytime I make videos like these, people are gonna immediately assume and attempt to discredit me, saying that I have too big of an ego, that I'm too greedy, basically. And it's like, bro, it's a fucking internet. I can show maximum ego, and it's actually just gonna be entertainment at best. No one's gonna get hurt by it. So you can go max ego, and it shouldn't be fucking criticized of like, oh, you want views and attention. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Give me that. But I will actually deny you trying to say that because you're trying to discredit me. It's just like, it's, what are you doing? You're just being a hater. And I will actually fight against that. Just unfortunate because of the tone of delivery. Right, but overall, yeah, like, give me views, give me attention, accumulate this video, like, whatever, right? I shouldn't deny that. Everyone wants that. And they shouldn't quite hide it either. It's a normal thing. And you want to have more views than some dude that already has a lot of views, right? It's just a normal socialism thing that that people should actually have. They should have socialism. The will to be bigger than the biggest YouTuber, that should just be something that people would want to do. But at the same time, you also want to have respect for great craftsmanship, because you still have to like deserve something for something, right? Just flexing socialism, I mean, it's cool and might actually attract some people, but it shouldn't be the end of the story, right? Like, you flexed, you got what you wanted, and is it over now? It shouldn't be over. You should do something else. You should invent something else. If you found socialism, you're going to find something else to stack on top of that. So again, socialism is the idea that I also want 2.2 million views, and I think I deserve that as well.
And making things, try to break down these walls and not like hide away from all of it.
Oh, let's all be vulnerable, not like hide. You know what? All it takes is for you to be actually honest, and I just still don't believe that's going to happen. I think the old Jacksepticeye is just going to come back and build a wall again that he's describing that he really wants to break. Damn, bro. I don't believe in this guy at all.
This shit of the lack of conversation around a lot.
There shouldn't be a conversation about autism, besides the fact that autism is bullshit, so...
Of this stuff.
Moving on.
People, when I had autism, people were like, dude, why would you admit to that? Like, it's...
Yes. That's a normal thing to ask. Why did you admit to autism? Because that's how you get yourself in the spiral to pretend and self-confirm that you have autism. And all it takes is for you to just bump into a fucking random doctor and he just gives you a thumbs up. Yes, you have autism. I just gave you some autism. Have fun with autism, bro. Is that enough? Is that enough to know that you have autism? Because it's the dumbest thing. You know, sometimes doctors just going to be like, oh, you really want to have autism? Maybe you fucking just have it, because it is really difficult to connect with a person who just really wants to have autism confirmed. I mean, I would say, like, it should be difficult to, or you should expect it to be difficult to talk to a person like that. You know, who just sees no problem. It's just like, yeah, you have autism, actually. Yeah, fuck it. You just got it for $20.99 or whatever the price is. You really wanted that. I mean, so is he gonna actually explain how the autism actually comes out and prevents him from having proper conversations with people? What is the way that, you know, it disrupts his life? I really want to know, because that's the thing that would allow us to actually understand the fucking thing in the first place. He was not eager to actually explain that yet.
Some sort of a different person. It doesn't. Do YouTube or do content creation.
Yeah, it does make you a different person, because now you're going viral, and I am very interesting what's happening with you right now.
Or any sort of video games, or, you know.
All right, he's connecting autism with playing video games and being an entertainer online. Very interesting. How cute is that?
Conversation around autism.
Now, personally, I can agree that I am like a shy person, and I wouldn't want to go to a party because I haven't actually leveled up into the level of party that I can actually handle, right? A shy means that I have to work from ground up, and nobody wants to socialize with me, and I'm just patiently gonna wait. Maybe someone actually does want to socialize and show me the world, basically. I'm like a fucking Disney princess. I don't see shyness as some kind of fucking autistic spectrum bullshit, because it is what it is. It's bullshit. And this guy's just submitting himself into it because he's escaping something. He's escaping his own evil self and trying to label it as, oh, just mental illness. It's like, fine, guys. Fine, nothing bad. I'm not a scary person right now. I'm not possessed by 20 demons right now. It's just autism, guys.
Autism, and what are you doing? And 10 years ago, I can smell when he goes to the bathroom immediately. I can pick up on the smell of shit a mile away. I'm like a
Damn. Is that autism?
Blood in the wall. You gotta.
So, yeah, so far he's describing that he really reads the body language of people. He smells shit from a mile away. That sounds, yeah, like you do have autism, and now it's like demonic spectrum at this point. Yeah, whatever he is, he is an NPC, basically. It's just randomly got millions of followers. He's just a very dangerous NPC. That's the fucking difference, isn't it? Because if you demote yourself to an NPC, holy shit. That's what it is. Like, technically every NPC has autism because they just do the same thing over and over again. It's just very difficult to talk to these people, because they don't have a purpose in life. There's nothing in them. There's no soul in them to connect to. There's no moving forward. It's just a bunch of factoids of like, I like this and I like that and blah, blah, blah. It's just all this fucking empty shit that it's completely pointless. That hopefully you go past that, they disown their NPC identity, these fucking weirdos, and they stop smelling shit from a mile away. Holy fucking crap,
if
man.
I look at it and smell them, so for me it's like a lot of sensory things, but apparently I'm doing masking like all the time.
So the reason why I bring up in the start of the video and just overall that this guy's identity is horror. You must understand how many fucking crazy things happen in horror, and that it is a sensory problem, all right? Because you're going to associate your food with something, you're going to associate smells with something, you're going to be hyper aware of these things, of how people treat you, basically, and how people fear you, basically, as well. Just very good at masking, though. At this point, maybe autism was correct, and that, again, it's very difficult to talk to a demonically possessed person that you don't want to talk to. So it's like, great, you took a label that you really deserve, and we don't want to talk to you right now until you fix your autism. Because you can unhave something very easily, right? You can unhave it. You can detach, disassociate from that. You can work on that. It's just like, I have body fat. So it's just fucking drop it, bro. All right? And then we're going to talk to you again. This is what's going to happen. However, because this is Deadmaus Drama, I have a feeling that this fucking rat is going to try and crunch through walls just to be able to stay relevant. For fuck's sake, man. Just to get some likey likes. Fuck that shit, man. I want to see him try.
Introverted. And unfortunately,
You're just autistic. You don't realize you should be scared. Like, you're probably just autistic, man. And just get diagnosed, bro. Just get diagnosed. Fucking propaganda begins, bro. Holy shit, man. This is what it is. In order to self-confirm that it's like, okay, yeah, I kind of have demons. I have to share these demons and show like the sensory problems I have like right now. It's like, I'm still masking everything. But like, me, you also have demons. Fuck you, bro. Like, everyone has demons. Come on, man. Come on, man. Just diagnose yourself with autism. Just like, fuck off, bro. I'm not that different right now. I just want to like try and mask my problems. And it just is what it is. That's his position right now. We're catching him right
tested
now.
for autism is a really... Fuck that. I'm lucky that I was able to...
Oh, he had to wait 2 years to get diagnosed for autism. It's so useful, though. Oh my god. It's gonna really help him in his life. Adventure. Damn. Man, you look at all these people, and again, they're NPCs because the world has been built in such a rigorous way to just like go to a doctor and he will tell you, and you have to pretend that the doctor is smarter than you and all these things. But the reality is it's mostly a lie to please you because you really asked for it, you know? Like, oh, do I have autism? Do you really want autism? Yeah, you have autism actually. You asked very nicely. I mean, holy shit. Everything checks out. You have it. Congratulations. That's how the world works, bro. The world works in very simple terms, and no one wants to be a fucking smartass and sit there and pick up clients over and over again. Because it's just a draining thing. So the only other person that can do it is a fucking liar. The only person that can actually do a doctor's job to diagnose people is a fucking liar. No smart person would sit there and just fucking, oh yeah, let me check mark this, check mark that, right? No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna actually find, especially when you're waiting for 2 years. Like, clearly nobody fucking wants your stupid business in there. All right, it's just like, why do I have to label this fucking Jacksepticeye guy as fucking autistic? Jesus Christ, man. You know, behind the scenes footage I'm trying to give you guys. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to see people like that, but this guy deserves it, so it's like it's very nice to put him in the front lines, basically. He deserves it. But you don't listen to the fucking propaganda that show, oh, you probably have autism too. Or unless you're NPC, then you also deserve it. Fuck you, basically. But if you genuinely don't want to have problems when dealing with other people, you just want to have genuine good relationships, good bonding, stickiness, ego. If you want to have all these things, then autism is probably not something you want to have. And you don't have to, you know? And the first step in not having autism is not self-diagnosing, not throwing yourself into the nearest doctors to get diagnosed. None of these things are going to be helpful to you. It's just the things that you feel like getting in the way of you having conversations that lead to something. Those are the things that you have to work on. That's about it. I'm doing it right now. And all the time, just like trying to connect, right? The dots, the understanding, the pitfalls that people can go through. And I don't really want to be aware that I'm just alone in a room talking to a microphone across the internet. I'm just a very hopeful person. And that part I don't want to think about. All right? That part would drive me fucking crazy.
To go private, and it's still, how did you...
Now, some people want to actually twist my perception of things and be like, oh, Jacksepticeye is not that evil, like, he's doing fine, right? It's masking. He said the word masking in his video in the first place. It's not a honest position to be in right now. And it's definitely not a good position to say that, oh, you probably have autism too, and just be susceptible to that idea. It's not a good thing, okay? No, it helps nobody. All right? That shit helps nobody. How about we click on a fucking random video? You'll see autism right there. Here it is, autism. He's running around in like random rooms of people. That's pretty crazy, bro.
Down.
Jesus Christ. Wow, he's angry on these people.
It makes me feel weird when doors are open in horror games. And if eat his liver. Let's not go all Rick on.
Yeah, I can hear some autism, like it's just something that should have never came out of his mouth, and I would probably not want to talk to a person like that. So yeah, I just kind of detected autism. You definitely have some.
You interact with other people, where you shy, where you communicate. Imagine
you should close all the doors. Maybe just don't talk about eating liver, and that's going to be fine when you're talking to other people.
But there's an assessment form that ends like confronting themselves in that way. But I quite enjoy doing that. I'm a very introspective person, and I like.
No, just submissive is
kind
what
of figuring
it is.
out how I take it.
It's submissive because you're holding a lot of guilt. So of course introspect because you want to see what other people see within you. Right? It's just so easy.
It wasn't scary. It can happen.
Go for it. Get assessed.
Is that you end up exactly pulling my hair out every time he did this? You guys are making fun of an autistic person. Bet you don't feel so good now, huh?
Immediately manipulation came out. So after propaganda, now we have manipulation.
You guys were attacking me over stuff that I can't. Not so good.
You can't control. Okay, very interesting stuff happening here.
Some of the
yeah, he's fucking spreading disease. Basically, is what's going on. To feel bad about himself.
It takes that in.
Oh, it's the Thankmas. That's why. Oh man, he waited 2 years for
initiative. So I have an audience of people. So I have an audience of people that I can use that influence to spread about
disease, and insecurities of mental health. Oh man, because again, mental health is about feeling confident about yourself. If you are insecure, that's a hit on your mental health. If you feel like you have to go through assessment to be secure about yourself, you have poor mental health that way. All right? If someone is offering you at gunpoint to do an assessment, just go for it, you know? It's fucking easy. But you're still not gonna like ace the test because you don't fucking care, you know? You shouldn't give a fuck about what other people think. That's the whole fucking point of autism is like, if you're getting diagnosed, like you probably care too much, to be honest, because you're the one that's gonna brag about it, that's gonna carry the diagnosis. You shouldn't even talk about it. It doesn't even matter, you know? You should have enough confidence that you can actually pull through and keep beating your former self, basically, instead of just leaning back and being like lazy. Oh, I actually have autism, so don't make fun of me, bitches. Oh, what a shield he just fucking got. This shield will only shield him from NPCs, but I just got a green light for some missile strikes that will have to be performed, you know?
Message and be more positive about it and break down this whole like.
Yeah, break down some walls.
Dude, don't we're gonna treat you differently.
Yes, autistic people are bad, especially if they spread propaganda. And what's that? Manipulation.
Or like it's not cool to do that. Or like it's not cool to do that. Or, you know, I'm just so fucking tired of that.
You love when an NPC gets tired of something. You know, they gave up on something that's supposed to have been a virtue that they just gave up. You know, they have been holding on to a virtue. I was just like, everyone's saying these things, and it's useful for me to be autistic. Don't worry about it, okay?
The internet that we live in, where everyone has to be like crazy productive, crazy ambitious, build a legacy.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that
be
shit.
As cool as you possibly can be.
You already achieved yours, and you can, you know, not worry about it. The other thing you can worry about is becoming a musician, a painter, doing whatever the fuck you want in life, is except for grinding the same shit over and over again. That's that's the whole thing of like having success. You understand that, like, you shouldn't be in the same vicious cycle. You should be doing something else with your success. And that's the problem, that I just keep finding people in. They just don't do anything with it.
Show no signs of weakness. That's all bullshit.
So
not
cute.
showing weakness, that's weakness.
So yeah, if you have enough confidence, like, these idiots will present themselves, basically, and will unleash their full potential of idiocracy. And I had a lovely time breaking Jacksepticeye's ego down, or whatever this was. Whatever we just received.
Because that means you're hiding stuff, which is being
You're just hiding!
And loving it. It's not true for everybody. And all unique.
I am kind of manipulating it too hard right
It's all
now.
different. But you know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
You don't want to tackle that head on next year. And
Yes, we're gonna do that, Jackson. We're gonna tackle head on. Because these are specific targets. These are not skibbity toilets like Penguin Zero. These are like actually specific targets of like people who soaked in too much horror and gonna have to live in it now. And they're ready, bro. Next year, let's go, bro.
I want to evolve
Evolve into a super
version
demon
of myself that
is
contradicts itself, saying,
contradicted. What? Evolve or devolve? You just can't pick the right word,
going
can you?
against the whole like be better every day.
Yeah, be worse now. Be worse is better.
I want to be more open to who I am
Demon
as a person and
demon.
not dance around shit because of what everybody
Demon.
else tells me I should be.
Yeah, demon.
Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, demon. All right. Yeah, we got it.
But thank Miss.
Because he didn't fucking tell anything specific about that. Just like, I just want to be open as a person.
Is going ahead soon. I'm as a person and not dance around shit because of what everybody else.
So it is a question of like, is he gonna be more honest or demon? What does that mean? Because so far we just got propaganda manipulation. It's not going very well. It's just going off the cliff. I don't want to see people, advertising autism spectrum as like, oh, you might have some, Should be aware of that, actually. You should be aware of bad things you're doing and put that, tuck that in, not hide it. You work on that. That's just workload. But sometimes you just have to submit to like, well, I have nothing to work on. I don't have friends that could help me out. Like sometimes you're just crippled in a certain situation where you just have to learn more patience and self-control, right? And if you're a Jacksepticeye's fan in the first place, man, what a fucking pity. Who the fuck are you, basically? Who watches content like this at all? Because those people are just anomaly to me, to be honest. Like, absolute anomaly. Who watches content like
Tickets
this?
are on sale.
Obviously,
You can go to the community
advertisement.
tab and see it. It's all off. And
Yeah, he literally says, though, like, I'm gonna evolve for next year. It's like, wow. Everything aligned perfectly. Glitched all the way in, just like my gut feeling said. We're gonna have Deadmaus Drama. It's beautiful. We're gonna hunt down some rats.
push this narrative
YouTube.
of positivity and upheaval.
Positivity, and we gotta get some of that really badly, dude. We're gonna get so much positivity.
that I think the industry so desperately needs.
Yeah, I agree.
Your numbers are really high, so that means you're a great person. You do a lot of charity, so that means you're a great person. Not always the case.
Yeah, I was able to trick all of you guys, but now we're gonna evolve into the real self, the demon that I always wanted to be.
More transparent and honest and break down that wall.
I always try to be a little bit transparent. I think you are a little bit transparent, aren't you? It is a very weird thing how just transparent you are. It's just so interesting to me.
That barrier and not build myself up into something that I'm not.
Yeah, I understand that. That's crazy. That's a very interesting strategy some people have in life, right? Just they're very honest about who they are
And
as
I think that that's
people.
important. That's why I'm having this conversation with you right now. That's why I ramble. That's why we're here. That's why we do it. That's the end of it all. Thanks for watching.
And the start of a new drama.
I don't know.
There's two dramas that's going to be happening. Evolution from Skibidi drama and the Hightail drama. We have the K-pop drama in this bad boy, leading apparently the front lines of something else. Something else. Very interesting. See you guys next time. This is quite interesting for sure.